Okay, so we have these just old doors that were put up 40, 50 years ago, and I'm putting up these newer doors here. Um, to say that they're better, I would say that they're not. This one obviously lasted 50 years, but it's just a flat front, and so it's not as decorative as this one here. Obviously, this is all just cheap material formed to look pretty, so whatever. This doesn't have a doorknob and it didn't have hinges on it, so I actually went ahead and got this piece of wood. It happens to be about 5/8 of an inch thick, and I slid it under the door, and I opened the door and I had it there, so you can see that gap is there. You want a gap under the doors if you have central heating and cooling inside the room, because you have to have air flow out of it so that air can flow into it through the air conditioning system. This one I ended up putting a HVAC or mini split in there. But anyways, I did not mortise the hinges, cut the little hinge into the door, because the problem is this little gap. You see there's still a bit of a gap, and if I would have mortised it, it would have moved it over another 2 millimeters or so away from this opening. So I used that board. It was super easy. I went ahead and marked, I installed the door like this with the hinges in the closed position, and then I ended up I actually used a pen, but I do have this Sharpie on me, and with the pen I went ahead and marked my line, took the door back, looked at the line, and transferred the line to the other side, and then I was able to screw it in. So when I screwed both of them in, I did the same thing to that bottom hinge. Oh, it's hard to open because oh, okay. So then what I ended up doing was I put the screw in first, this screw, and then this screw, and then I worked on the outer screw, inner screw, then outer screw, and inner screw. And the idea of using the center screw first is because the door does move, left and right a little bit in this stance. So it makes it a lot easier to do that. But you can kind of see where my markings are. Yeah, there it is. Right here. There's another little tiny marking right there. So I just lined it up and got it on the edge of this thing and made my screws, put them in. And so now we're gonna put the door handle in. And for the door handle, I just bought this $20 piece from Home Depot. Yeah, this is from Home Depot. Let's see if I can find the what's it called? The barcode for it, so you can kind of get an idea of how to use it. Here's the barcode. So I just always like to show the 4 sides of the box. In that box comes this little piece here, and it's odd because it has a little slit, but this actually slides onto this, and those spades will actually stick outside of it, so it'll be in this position. Obviously it can't slide in this perpendicular position, so it's got to go in there. It comes from here all the way up, and it sits there while it spins inside that hole. And then it comes with 2 screws, so you can mount this device straight into the door if you don't want it to move. And then it does also come with a dual-sided bit, so it's a flathead on one side and it's got a Phillips number 2 on the other side. I already had a Phillips number 2 here, so just have an extra one. I just came in here and eyeballed the center. Looks like I've already done this before. Actually, I think I had to move this at one time because it wasn't sitting with the other door. So that line is there, and it's right in the center. And then on this side, you can see my markings. I just make this very faint mark. When I open the door, I just transferred the marking from the left to the center of the door. And again, I just eyeballed it. That looks very centered. Actually, if I look at it, it does look like it might be just a little off. So the distance from here to here and here to here should be the same now. We'll see. But you get the idea. You want to get a ruler and measure it. That's great. Because technically you would want to measure it, just because this thing here doesn't sit centered on that. So you can see how it moves a lot. It's designed for different width doors. It doesn't seem to be an adjustment for this door to center it. So oh, those are the screw holes. You see that? Oh, and I guess it tells you on top 1 3/4 inch door and 1 3/8 inch door. So if you measured it, you can screw that in wherever it is. But Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and eyeball it, center it, and send it. And I've always had good luck with it. And then it's on there. You can get your drill in there. Obviously, I can't do it with 2 hands. I've already started the pilot screw or hole. You see the hole is there. So technically, I don't need this device now. I should be able to use this by itself, but I'll go ahead and do that because this does give it a little bit of guiding. Sometimes once that drill bit, once this part of the drill bit goes in, the rest just basically has to follow. Once this goes in, the rest basically has to follow. That's red marker on my finger, but that's it. So I'm drilling through this, and I got to the point where this is not deep enough to cut all the way through. So we're not all the way through. Now the drill bit itself is through, but the whole cutting saw is not. So you can see the drill bit. So now what we need to do, so now we need to do is flop it over and get our drill in that hole. Get that in that hole and go back the opposite way. So I'm gonna do that. I need to do it with 2 hands. All right, so it's through. Let's see if I can pull this through. See, it's like one giant piece. So yeah, came right out. Oh, well, there you go. Huh. It's out. And now we have our hole. We don't have this hole yet, but we'll work on that one here in a second. We can put this thing back up. I'll go in and measure my center just in case it does look like it's off by 1 millimeter or so still. So we'll get our center and mark it, and then we'll use our point. You can see that the point is there, so I can put that right on my cross where I put it on the door and drill it. Should be fairly easy. That's it, we're done. Assemble it. Sometimes the actual part that slides in from the door is tough to get in there, so you might have to drill it out just a little bit just to get it to go in. Okay, so this is how this goes on. You see it comes in from the back side, and there's a little slot right there, and see, it'll spin around on here. Once you find it, doesn't matter what direction you go, it's put it on there, and that's the way it goes. So then you get this piece up there, and I was off by, it's kind of off by like 1/2 millimeter or so. So now it's in there, it's in place. I'm not gonna be able to do this with both hands, but basically what I'm gonna do is get the tip right where I want it and start drilling, and that thing will just be my guide to the door or whatnot. You can see it's centered there, so that's all. See, and after I did the hole, you can see I was still off, so it's pretty imperative to make your hole and guide it. And so I did end up having to take it off because I didn't screw it in, so definitely want to screw it in. Oops, sorry, I should have screwed it in so that it's more better. It's centered better. I still don't understand how the heck you're supposed to screw that in, but still learning. I still need to do that door, and there's another door I need to do, so that's good. To a little learning curve on this setup. And that's it, party people. It's there. Now I'll get my door in. It's gonna work just fine. There's plenty of room for it to do stuff, so I'm not worried about it. And that's it. Have a great day.